Or DeGrom.
It's a good one.
Don't say nice things about the Mets. We're not allowed to do that. Because Joe,
he's the only one that hate them like the Astros.
Joe will spike the football for the rest of the episode.
Pete actually got this right. He wins this episode.
That's not how this works. There's no winning answer.
No, that's the right answer. The right answer is DeGrom, or I would have taken batting average Jeff McNeil, the flying squirrel, as the other.
McNeil is not going to bat.
He's going to bat 438.
One of the most overrated.
Write it down right now.
Of our generation.
Write it down right now. Jeff McNeil bats 438.
Dude. In the beginning, there was baseball. It is Thursday, June 11th. I am CJ. You can catch me on Twitter at CJ and Pinstripes. I'm here, of course, with Evan. And today we have ourselves a very special guest. We're very excited to have Paul, a.k.a. Simonetti Source. You can catch him on Twitter at Simonetti Source, 2 T's. You can catch his YouTube channel as well. Same name, Simonetti Source. He does some pretty fun live chats, also from his car. So
yes,
those are fun. You should check those out. Paul, how are you? Pete, sorry, I called you Paul.
Twice now, you idiot.
Twice now.
That's a common Italian thing.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm doing very well. Like I said, in the process of moving, so life is hectic. I never knew. I think I went to Lowe's already for about 5 or 6 boxes every other day.
So you're a Lowe's guy. You're a Lowe's guy. You're not
a Lowe's guy. Yeah, I am. Ever since in New York, obviously I'm not. But ever since I moved here, yeah, I'm a Lowe's guy.
So wait, where's here?
So I'm in Richmond, Virginia now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but from the Bronx, I didn't have to worry about Lowe's, but here I got to worry about Lowe's. So now
that's the big home store is Lowe's down there.
Yeah, that's the one, Lowe's.
I've only ever lived in New York City my entire life, so all I know is what's around here.
I understand.
Which also means that I don't get to enjoy Waffle House often enough as I would like to. What about you, Evan? Hey, you're here too, unfortunately. I mean,
this is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. You can follow me at Evan D. Wetzel 4. Welcome, guys.
What's up with the vacuum? Is that our new co-host, the vacuum?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a sponsor?
Yeah, I don't know what vacuum it is. It's broken, actually.
Well, look at the brand. What does it say? Maybe we can try to pick up a sponsorship here. What is it?
It says we bought it out of IKEA.
All right. Well, I doubt we're gonna get the IKEA sponsorship anytime soon. So, well, we had the MLB Draft yesterday. So, Pete, did you get a chance to check out any of the results from round 1?
Just Wells, really, to be honest with you. Just on the Yankee side, obviously he's been a target of the Yankees for a while. So 2018, obviously the Yankees went after him, decided to go on to college. But again, the Yankees make a good decision, to get a lefty bat that's going to fit them for hopefully for a long time. And a lot of people think he'll be pretty advanced. Don't know if he's going to stick behind that catcher, but the Yankees don't really have a major issue right there. Yeah, so depending on where they put him, a strong college lefty bat is never a bad option for the Yankees.
Yeah, plus you never know what could happen by the time he's major league ready.
Right.
Anything can happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure he won't be on ready for the major league squad until after Gary Sanchez has been a free agent. Yep. So you never know. Sanchez might go elsewhere, and maybe Austin Martin is the catcher of the future. You also never know. Maybe they stick him somewhere else. Maybe they
never know.
Moves.
You never know. But again, that lefty bat, wherever you really put him now, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the bopper in that lineup, and if he could provide that and show the pop, and people always talk about not just power-wise, the full picture with him when it comes to batting. The eye, he walks a lot. Doesn't strike out as much, which is always good. Hits for average, for power. So he's really the type of bat that you definitely look for in the first round.
He's dreadful behind the plate, though, which is why we're already talking about first base, outfield, DH. He's basically a Kyle Schwarber, just a little smaller maybe. But I like him. He hit 20 doubles, I think, last year and was pretty solid. So I like this pick. He was on my top 5 picks for us yesterday before the draft. So I like it.
And I feel like always the Yankees are kind of in a spot where they seem to be organizationally starved for catchers. So it also seems to address that situation.
Yeah, right. It does, because last year they had Siegler, and now they go for a catcher again. And again, like Evan said, I mean, even with him, being known as not a guy who you're looking at as advanced already as a catcher defensively, the main idea of this thing was the bat. The main idea was the lefty bat that they want to keep around for a long time. And again, the Yankees, like many other clubs right now, with everything that's going on, are going to be losing money. So they're probably looking to have a lot of these guys who could come up maybe a little quicker, keep them around for a little longer, and not have to pay as much of the moolah to.
Yeah. Some other notables, Spencer Torkelson, number 1, like we kind of saw coming. Interesting. I mean, the guy's such a good hitter that nobody cares that he's a first baseman. They took him.
They picked him for 3rd, though, actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they announced it as 3rd baseman, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
That I didn't see, so hey, Good for them. A couple of others, Zach Veen slipped pretty far down to number 9. I thought he was going to go in top 5, kind of a steal there for the Rockies. It was an interesting first round. It was an interesting first, especially considering like there's only 4 rounds left. That's all teams are really able to do for this year. So it'll be interesting to see where the rest of it goes. What do you think, Evan? Did you actually watch it?
I watched the whole thing because I'm not a casual fan like most of you out there. It's ridiculous. You talk about all this nonsense, how if you buy more stuff, you're a better fan. No, if you know more stuff, you're a better fan. I don't care if you're rich. That's stupid. Oh, I have 30 jerseys and they don't have the name on the back of it. That doesn't make you a good fan. It makes you an idiot.
He's still mad about the jerseys.
I'm pissed, dude. I hate the jersey thing.
Listen. Usually, I cause Evan to go off on a rant. This time, you kind of just got triggered by nothing. What the hell happened just now? Usually it's me because Evan has this stupid idea that you can have a name on the back of the jersey and it's okay. I'm pretty sure he owns a jersey like that.
It is okay in Queens.
Yeah, I mean, when you in a place with lower standards, I guess I can understand it.
Dude, I got so sick of people calling out Matsui jersey a Sonny Gray jersey. Seriously, that's really over the top. I'm done.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
That's not nice.
No.
That's not nice at all.
It's like a personal insult.
It ruined years of my life, buddy. I went to therapy for this shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's fighting words. That has to be. I mean, you can't compare Sonny Gray with Matsui, especially on a Yankee jersey.
Yeah, but just think of it. If anyone out there was the proud owner of a Luke Voigt jersey, they are now the proud owner of a Garrett Cole.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one hell of an investment. I can pick any number right now, except obviously the retired numbers. And I can put that jersey on thinking that, okay, I can at least come up with some player that this is. Like
at some point,
If I were to get like a number 26 jersey, I could pick any player that wore the number 26.
Right.
True. It's probably I think I heard that number 26 is the jersey that is like it's like nobody's on the Yankees have always gotten number 26. I have to look into who actually wore that number, but it's like nobody that is any fun.
26, huh?
I think that's what Eduardo Nunez wore. So we're already off to a bad start. I can't think of any good 26s that ever played for the Yankees.
Didn't Nunez wear 14 a lot also? Or was that like his second stint or whatever the hell it was?
Maybe, or he might be like some players sometimes just change their numbers because the number they
right, I forgot. You may have.
I don't know. I do know that LaTroy Hawkins wore number 21 for like a day before he got
that pissed everyone off.
His asshole torn open by Yankee fans.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible. That was such a bad thing to do to start. I mean, that's not the way you start.
Yeah. By the way, retire the number or put it in circulation.
Retire it.
Yeah.
Seriously, retire it.
Like, what is this half measure that the Yankees are doing? Like, you're not going to give it to anyone, but you're not going to retire it?
It's weird because that Yankee team, and we could talk about it a lot of the players on there, but when it comes to Yankee fans in general, even newer Yankee fans, older Yankee fans, these guys are just absolute legends. I mean, just when it comes to the Yankees, they are absolute legends. I mean, Paul O'Neill is an absolute legend of the Yankees of all time, and that's what people I don't think fail to realize is all-time clubs for the Yankees. He's arguably on there for some people, or bench player on those best teams. I mean, Paul O'Neill is deserving of having that number retired, no doubt about it. Other players shouldn't be wearing that number on the Yankees.
He should get a statue in front of the stadium.
I agree.
Next to Brett Gardner.
If the Yankees wanted to give it to someone, they're just going to get booed again. Like, unless you're Aaron Judge, you're not wearing that number and coming out of it alive.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, what the hell was LaTroy Hawkins thinking? LaTroy Hawkins is a good relief pitcher. Don't get me wrong, but my God, they come over to the Yankees. You're not. That's like Mariano Rivera coming back and saying, in his prime and saying, yeah, I was this good. I want this number. All right, cool. Maybe we can live with it. But this is LaTroy Hawkins doing this. Come on.
He probably wasn't thinking. He probably didn't even know that Paul O'Neill was number 21. Or maybe he did, and he just didn't know how strong.
He's a jackass, dude. Let's just face it.
What did LaTroy Hawkins do to you?
I mean, somebody had to say at some point, hey, LaTroy, this happened to be Paul O'Neill. Yeah. Somebody had to say something.
Yeah, like 21. Are you sure about that? That's the number you're going with?
Like, I normally hate the number 0, but I love that Ottavino took it.
Yeah, I like that. I do. I like that too.
I mean, that number needs to go to someone who's going to be a Hall of Famer, because that number, I want all single digits retired. I found that funny when the Yankees retired number 2 and everyone was like, that's it. That's all the single digits. And then Ottavino was like, hey, I'll take 0.
Right.
Right. Hey, that's enough Yankee talk. How about we talk about baseball in general? Rob Manfred says that there's going to be baseball. He says it's happening. It's happening 100%. And this actually goes back to something that Evan brought up on Tuesday, that the commissioner just has the power to unilaterally start the season. He also said that if he has to, he's just going to go back to the March 26th agreement. And that basically means that it's just a prorated salary, no 70% of the prorated like MLB wants the players to have. The players will get what they want on that front, and the owners will get what they want in that there'll only be about 50 games played. Right. So it's kind of a compromise between them. What do you think about that? What do you think about a 50-game season?
It's funny because I was always told throughout all this stuff that July 4th was the target date and that they would figure out a way. They all liked that idea. They were going to figure it out. And I was always told it's probably going to happen. No worries. Now, as we get closer, you're kind of sitting here saying, well, at some point, nothing is agreed to. Nobody seems like they have any intention of agreeing to anything. You got guys like Scherzer coming out calling it a joke. You got, legit stars of the game kind of saying this is not going to happen this way, so forget about it. It's a non-starter. So where we are right now, it may come down to Manfred saying, I'm going to start up baseball again at the original, like you said before, because right now I don't – there's no sign of an agreement being anywhere near close. So who really knows at this point?
Yeah. And if you really think about it, if they really want to hold to that July 4th, the agreement has to happen this week. They need to be able to get at least 3 weeks of camp in. There's no way they can start on July 4th without getting it done this week.
Right, and it's sad because 2 weeks ago it looked like we were getting close, and then every single proposal has been rejected, and we're waiting for the next rejection, which is going to be the next offer from Major League Baseball. So, yeah, it doesn't look like we're anywhere close, and it's getting really frustrating for everyone.
And the worrisome part is that you're right. There's been a lot of these talks about we're going to find out what happens with this one today. And then you don't even hear that it was a negotiation. You just hear that it was a hard no, we're not doing this. Either one side is either just flat out saying, nope, not happening. So, yeah, I've had people ask me all the time, is there going to be baseball? I think there's going to be baseball. I do. I don't think they cannot have baseball. That would be insane. But what it's going to look like, I think, is anybody's guess right now. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, you got guys like Scherzer, you got guys like Bauer, you got guys like Snell, who have been vehemently opposed to anything MLB's been throwing their way. those are the guys that have already locked away millions. What about the guys who are still arbitration or pre-arbitration?
Yep.
Those are the guys who kind of, they want to get back to work. They want to start getting some paychecks. It's going to be interesting because what I'm worried about with this whole Rob Manfred thing is that the players can just flat out strike. The players can just say, well, go ahead, start the season. We're not coming to work.
Right.
So that's the part that worries me. And then you're going to have some players, those players that are making little money, who are going to try to cross the picket line. And now that's going to make a gigantic mess. Just like in '94, you had players crossing the picket line, and it just, I don't know, man. It just leaves it as like a sad picture of what's happened.
Well, and no matter how you look at it, it's going to be bad for baseball. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people need to understand, because I see a lot on Twitter. It's usually this is what you hear a lot of: the owners have enough money. That's typically what you see the majority of fans say. Well, the owners have enough money, so they got to make something work. Well, people don't buy a baseball team to make no money. I mean, people obviously buy a baseball team to make money. They're going to guaranteed already to lose money. So I can understand both sides. But again, as fans, we just want to see the sport played. We just want to see Major League Baseball get up again and get going, no matter how they do it. The other thing we got to think about is the ramifications going forward. What is free agency going to look like for the next 2 to 3 years? Yeah. What is that going to look like? So that's interesting to think of.
I mean, they've already changed the compensatory pick, how that's balanced. And I believe, do you know what they're doing with that? Because I forget the exact terms of it, but I think if you sign a player this year, you're not going to lose that pick anymore. And I think they're going to do that for 2 years.
Right.
From what I've heard.
So that helps. That helps in the sense of, maybe we're more aggressive in pursuing somebody who we may not have been before. But when it comes to the larger deals, how many players are going to hold out?
Right.
Is it going to be more of your 1 and 2 year deals of larger salaries, or are you going to see these 8 and 9 year deals again that we were seeing for $200+ million? I don't think we're going to see those again for a while.
I think you're right about that. I mean, I think they, outside of generational talents like Bryce Harper and Mike Trout and Manny Machado, those seem to be heading out the door anyway. I can't really think of any players that are available for free agency, except for maybe Mookie Betts after this season is over, that were on the line for such a huge contract. I don't think Mookie's going to get that now. I don't think Mookie's going to. I think you're 100% right.
He was talking $400 million. That I don't think that was going to happen before. It's definitely not happening now.
Right.
Yeah. I think that you might see, and then that's going to just lead to even more cries of collusion, like we saw a couple of off seasons ago.
Yep.
That players are going to be pissed about MLB teams, but like at that point, the players kind of have to be a little understanding, because if this 50-game season does happen, and then the teams are losing money because there's no gate, I mean, can you really expect them to now rush out and sign people? I hope the players are understanding, like, hello, you made us lose all this money by having this season. How can you expect us to now turn around and give you boatloads of cash?
Here's my answer to that. I don't think they will be, and let me tell you why. Because public opinion immediately is the owners are the bad guys. No matter what. The owners are the bad guys. Majority of fans are already taking the side of players. And again, I'm not making this a owner versus player thing, but in reality, it kind of is. There has to be compromise somewhere. And you see some of these players just flat out saying, I'm not losing money. Well, you kind of have to. I mean, at the end of the day, to be fair, you do kind of have to take some sort of cut somewhere. The owners are doing that. They have no choice. They're going to have to. They're already missing their year. They're already losing money. So at the end of the day, that's the hard part. And I understand. I hope players will make it a little easier, because this can head down a very dark path for baseball.
Players' contracts in Major League Baseball are fully guaranteed. So all this talk that they're giving about it being dangerous and whatnot, I mean, I understand you don't want to go out there and blow your shoulder out rushing back to a season, or forget about rushing back to a season. You get injured in the midst of a 50-game season. you start to wonder, well, what was the point of everything that I just did? At the same time, if you are on one of these massive contracts, you've made your money already. This isn't like the NFL where a player has to worry about a long-term deal because they could blow out their knee and then that's it. All of the unguaranteed money now goes away. These guys already made their contract. So the question becomes, do you play the games and just make what little you can out of it? Or do you not play the games and, like you said, bring baseball down a kind of a dark, scary road? That's how I feel about that. Evan, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about how DJ LeMahieu might get screwed over yet again when the market isn't where it needs to be. He's probably going to be the number 1 second baseman on the board this offseason. And he's not going to get anywhere close to what he wants. I know last time he wanted 4 years, 68. We gave him 2 years at 24. So that's a pretty drastic drop. He might not even get that going around.
Yeah. And he's not young, by the way. So
no, he's not.
This is another thing that's like, what about the players who are becoming free agents that are on the cusp of leaving their prime? So how are teams going to view players like those? I didn't get a chance to see how you played last season because when you leave your prime, sometimes players just completely collapse. So
owners are going to do the smart thing. Seriously, and I hate saying this. They're going to take advantage of them. Yep. It's simple as that. That's going to be the reason why guys will get smaller deals. Exactly what you just said. I didn't see you play last year. I don't know. I can't base, your 2019 numbers. I can't base it off of that. So we're going to base, you didn't play. So you're going to have a lot of owners taking advantage of that. And you're going to have some good bargains out there. Guys, maybe going to a team they didn't want to go to or things change. It's going to be very, very strange times for baseball. Things like we've obviously never seen this in a very long time. It's going to be rather different. And I'm just excited to see how it unfolds, how it starts.
Yeah, the Mets might actually have a chance of getting someone now.
Well,
Yep.
I don't know about that. I'll say this. Did anyone get screwed over harder than the Dodgers on this shit? Because they make this deal for Mookie Betts, and he might never play for them.
Right.
I mean, God, if you're a Dodgers fan, you are pissed about that.
They got that pitcher, though, Gastro, right?
Yeah, no. Did he go? Oh, yeah, he didn't go to the Twins. He ended up on the Dodgers. Yeah, he's a weird player. That guy's really bizarre because that guy, he's able to strike out so many guys.
Yeah.
He can't get people to swing and miss. In that sense, he reminds me a lot of Evaldi. Like Evaldi would strike guys out like crazy, but like the moment there's a ball in the strike zone, they are tagging that thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about some fun stuff, shall we?
Yay.
I actually don't have anything fun.
Evan was so excited.
I actually had nothing fun lined up. Part of the fun was going to be, here's the thing, Pete. Evan loves hot dogs. Did you know this?
God damn it.
Evan loves hot dogs. And whenever I run out of stuff to talk about, I just make fun of him for it.
Like every other episode, it's exhausting, man. It's not funny anymore.
Is it? Hold on. Is this just a like hot dogs thing or like an obsession? Like I have one daily.
No, I literally eat pigs in a blanket like every other day. It's terrible.
Oh, okay. It's just terrible.
The other day, he was on camera with a big plate of like 40 of them. Just down.
It was the 40 pack. I made the whole 40 pack.
Now, are we talking?
Hell? Impressive.
Hold on. Here's a question. Are you more of a Hebrew National guy? Are you more of a Nathan's guy? What do you like?
Hebrew Nathan's. Those are my two choices.
I like Sabret the most when it comes to hot dogs I make at home, but nothing beats a nice Nathan's hot dog from Coney Island, man.
Oh yeah, of course.
Love that.
That is the most delicious garbage food.
Yep.
100%.
I do like fast food. I mean, you can tell just by looking at me. I'm very big into Wendy's, but man, if there was a Nathan's near me, similar to the one that is in Coney Island, I think I'd be like Evan. I'd be eating a hot dog every day.
Well, that's where it comes from. Growing up, there was a Nathan's down the street from me that was lasted about 9 years.
There you go.
I have a terrible story. They were gonna open one near me, They were going to open one right by where I live in the Bronx. And they were building that thing up, and it never opened. They had the sign up and everything. And me and my buddy are like, oh, man, I can't wait. I'm going to get me some corn dog nuggets. It's going to be wonderful. I can't wait. And then months go by, and it's like, that Nathan's is still not open.
That's
and
bullshit.
Then they took the sign down.
I mean, that's terrible. That's a horrible tease.
You could have sued for emotional damages. I know I'm about to.
The closest one to me is in Scarsdale. I don't want to go to goddamn Scarsdale.
No one's going to Scarsdale.
My fast food pleasure got to be White Castle, because again I grew up in Castle Hill, so Castle Hill I had a White Castle right there all the time in New York. So that was like a almost, and growing up I feel like that was almost a daily thing, to be honest. That was almost like a daily damn thing. So White Castle. I mean,
I like White Castle. It's really good. It does some things to my body that I say some pretty disgusting things on the podcast. But
please don't.
I think for the benefit of everyone listening, I'm not going to go into what kind of liquids we're in.
You're one of the grossest human beings I know.
I think Joe has some questions for us. Joe, our producer, usually comes up with some questions, especially when we have guests. Sometimes he doesn't, and we yell at him.
I was going to say, usually I forget when you have guests.
Yeah. But hey, I think he's
a new background.
What is
that?
That's
nice.
Is that a cherry blossom outside the window? Let me see
this is I cleaned up the place a little bit.
Okay.
My dog just doesn't move ever.
That's
my dog's really good.
Chrysler building you got, man. I got to be honest.
Yeah. All the way from Westchester.
Is that like a $25,000 a month apartment or what?
I got a guy.
Oh, wait. Is that the one that Noah Syndergaard wouldn't pay rent on? Is that what that
All right. Anyway, I got a question for you guys. Before I take a Mets beating. All right. So this year, we don't know if it's 50 games. We don't know if it's 110, but we know it's going to be one of the shortest seasons ever in MLB history. The record to most likely be broken in a shortened season. So it's part A, is it batting average or ERA? And part B, who do you think can do it?
Oh, man. I think it's going to be ERA. Who do I think can do it? It's got to be someone that overplays expectations. Like you remember years ago when Ubaldo Jimenez took like a 1.8 ERA into the All-Star game. It's going to be someone like that always starts off at
Robbie Ray.
Robbie, that's not bad. Watch it be someone like goddamn Sonny Gray.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was going to say the guy.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
That's a tough question though, because if you think about it, I mean, how many guys we've seen a lot of guys go 35, 40 game stretches batting extremely high.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can also see somebody getting out the gate extremely hot and running away with that possibly, but I would favor more ERA, and I think you got to look at your power guys, your real elite power pitchers that can go on a hell of a stretch and not give really anything up. And would it be in 50 games? I mean, you're not having many starts at all, so I would favor ERA more than anything else.
Yeah, you figure 50 games, you're starting what, like 10? If you're
10 to 15 times if you're lucky.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to think. Guys get hot for half a year sometimes, and I mean they're dominating. So 10 to 15 games is nothing.
Yeah, and 15's a stretch if it's 50 games. Let's be honest.
Right.
Yeah, the only reason I don't say batting average is simply because there are so many grip it and rip it guys now that don't really pay attention to contact. It could happen. I mean, over the course of 50, you're right. You do see guys get out there hot and hit close to 400 for a stretch of like a month or two at the start of the season. But I'm gonna have my official guess be ERA, and the pitcher, man, I'm just gonna go homer on this one and say Garrett Cole.
I was gonna do that too.
I can't go with the clean sweep because that's the first. So I'm gonna have to be different here. Evan, I'm actually gonna go with yours. I'm gonna say I'll just throw out Robbie Ray out there, strikeout guy, misses bats. Coming up again, another guy. There's a guy for you that's going to be a free agent. That's going to get a hell of a deal. That could have got a huge deal from somebody if he comes out really strong this year. So, yeah, why not? I will go
You
with
and I have
Robbie
been
Ray
talking about him for like 3 years now, so
or DeGrom.
it's a good one.
Don't say nice things about the Mets. We're not allowed to do
Yes.
that because Joe.
Yeah, this is
He's
a
the only
non-Mets
one
show.
that-
We hate them like the Astros.
Joe will spike the football for the rest of the episode.
Pete actually got this right. He wins this episode.
Hey,
and,
that's not how this works. There's no
Oh, you're
winning
fine.
answer.
No,
you
that's the
jerk.
right answer. The right answer is DeGrom, or it would
Everything's
have.
a win. Come on.
I would have taken batting average Jeff McNeil, the flying squirrel, as the
Jeff
other.
McNeil
Oh,
is not going to bat.
He's
Jeff
gonna bat
McNeil's
438.
one of the
Write it
most
down.
overrated
Write it down right
players
now.
of our
Write it
generation.
It's out right now. Jeff
least-
McNeil bats 438.
Dude, at least you didn't say Conforto.
Oh,
Because I remember when he was a
Oh
thing.
man.
He's
Yes.
trash.
All right, now we're gonna start. I gotta go.
I think that about wraps it up. You got anything else, CJ?
Well, I'm going to ask Pete, is there anything else you'd like to discuss? We don't necessarily have to stop just because Evan says we need to stop. If there's anything you want to talk about,
Yeah, we can continue.
Otherwise, we can wrap it up. But if there's anything,
I mean, you're interrupting my hot dog time, but that's okay.
God damn,
I
he is
figured.
eating a hot dog. I knew
I
it.
figured he is. Unbelievable, this guy.
How do you? Hold on. What do you feel about chili dogs?
Yeah, they're
I don't
not
like
bad.
them.
I'm going to Nathan's tonight. You made me.
Wait, Pete, you don't like chili dogs?
No,
How come?
I don't know.
I like.
Not a fan.
I
like my hot dogs need to be plain. I'm a sauerkraut mustard guy. That's it.
Okay,
That's what I do
understandable.
mostly, yeah.
So there's I might have already talked about this place on the show. It's in Manhattan. It's called Criff Dogs. And I never thought I would like a hot dog with cream cheese on it until I tried that. It's a hot dog wrapped in bacon with cream cheese. I gave it the same.
It's a
20
Sammy
votes
dog.
for-
Is that a Sammy dog?
Shit, man, I don't know. The hell's a Sammy
No,
dog?
in Mexico, I had a Sammy dog, and it had cream cheese, bacon, and like a bunch of vegetables on it.
No one knows what you're talking about.
It's a real thing. It's a real
Maybe.
thing. I
I
had it
don't-
in Nogales. Like
I'm a
15
hot
years
dog
ago.
expert. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got to be honest. What I ate on that day, Joe, had no vegetables. 100%. It was extremely unhealthy. There was no fiber on that thing whatsoever. So I guess we're done.
I got one question. Just
Yeah,
being,
go for
Let's hear it.
being for a Yankee fan. I know we got a Mets fan here too, but obviously, I just gotta ask everybody about Aaron Judge and the way the Yankees have handled these injuries. What is everybody's opinion of this? We don't even know if this guy's gonna play. We're hearing there's minor progression. He's getting somewhat healthy. Is there any concern there for you guys?
I'm gonna say so I remember this was right after Aaron Judge's rookie year. I said something on Twitter and people lost their minds. I was like, Aaron Judge is not an outfielder for long. And I don't think Aaron Judge is going to finish his – I don't mean finish his time on the Yankees. I don't think Aaron Judge is going to go into free agency an outfielder. And I don't think he should. I think that gigantic body of his running around in the outfield is just not going to work for him for long. And I think it is causing some of the problems we're seeing. Now, I will say some of the problems is from the fact that he's so big and he's got such a fucking aggressive swing that I think his swing is doing part of the damage. I do think that him running around in that outfield is causing damage. And I will say that the Yankees –
Does he play this year?
Yeah.
Not the full.
I
Not the
don't –
full 50 games, maybe
Yeah.
15.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do the Yankees maybe shut him down? I don't know.
I think we will see more of Stanton than Judge this year, and I hate to say it, they both have the same body type, but like we've seen, they break down easily, and Judge is going to be a 31-year-old free agent. You're right. He's not going to be getting a premium contract for an outfielder.
Well, the worst thing that can happen, or that has happened for Aaron Judge, to be quite honest, is that he's a really good right fielder.
Very good.
Yeah.
So that's one of the worst. Now, if he sucked as an outfielder, that's probably would be a good thing, to be honest, because most people could just say, all right, good, you got a great bat that's a DH for years and years to come. But he's so passionate, he's so good that the guy would literally run through the wall to make a catch that you probably don't even need to make because it's not even that damn important. He'd run through a wall in foul territory to make a catch.
You know who doesn't do that? That bum Red Blunder. He sucks. Clint Frazier. I hate
I
him.
was going to say Clint Frazier. I knew I would hear that name at some point.
Yeah. I mean, so the issue is you bring Aaron Judge into first base, and yeah, you have Aaron Hicks out there to man center, but then he's eventually going to break down as he's been doing a few times. I love Aaron Hicks, don't get me wrong, but the guy's injury prone too. Now that leaves us after this season, because I don't think Brett Gardner is going to be on the team next season. That's just my guess. That leaves us with Stanton. That leaves us with Frazier. I mean, that leaves us with nothing but corner outfielders. They're going to have to bring in someone who can man center field. Because can you imagine either of those two guys trying to play center?
No, not for the they wouldn't be able to do it long term. Then you got your Talkmans and these other little pieces out there, but you're right. I mean, there's not a Bernie Williams type out there for the Yankees. I mean, you got your young guys coming up, but that's also not immediate. So they still have. You're right. I mean, they definitely do got questions. A lot more. It's funny because we haven't even played a game of baseball, but I feel like the Yankees have more questions now in a sense when it comes to just future long term than they did before. It was an exciting year. It really was. To start the year as a Yankee fan, I mean, all the good things going on, the young players. We saw how good Clark Schmidt is.
I'm
what
excited
he can
for him.
actually show and actually do. You watch him pitch and you go, this guy probably could be up here right now. You see the movement of his pitches, the control, the dynamic on the mound. And all the other young guys they had coming up. This was kind of the year that I think as Yankee fans, you thought everything is coming together. They actually have reinforcement that are close, that if anything were to happen, they got guys that could jump right back in there. And then, all hell breaks loose with this virus and everybody is blindsided by this. And now we are where we are. And a guy like Judge is still not healthy or confirmed to even be ready to play. So that's the reason why I wanted to ask that because, that is a concern. He's such a big name for not just the Yankees, for Major League Baseball in general, that everybody wants to see him. He's one of those guys when he's batting, even if you're not a fan, you want to watch him bat. So getting him healthy and seeing him out there is I think important for baseball also.
I feel that we're going to see such small sample size nonsense this year. We're going to see not just players go on a tear that normally wouldn't be there. You're going to see it with teams too. You're going to see some really funky stuff going on with the standings this year. And it's going to be real weird to see teams that are going to be in the hunt that normally wouldn't be. And that's another reason why losing guys like Judge is scary, because you want to have as much firepower as you can to keep those flukes at bay.
Yep, that's right.
It was wonderful having you on, Pete. This was good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for joining
thanks,
us.
Pete. Appreciate it.
Hope to have you on again soon, man.
This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. Take care, guys. Thanks, Pete.